Hello and welcome back to this MT5 mobile Android tutorial. So, in this one we're going to see how you can add a whole bunch of instruments to your quotes panel, which you can of course find over here, just above the charts. Here we go. It's very simple, easy to do. First we're going to see how you can add a whole bunch of assets, which kind of assets you can add, because that's quite important as well. They're going to go quickly through how you can configure this feed to make it a bit more convenient for you personally. And lastly, we're going to see how you can actually remove some things that you might not actually need. So let's jump right in, starting from adding a whole bunch of stuff. Now for that, you want to look for the plus icon, which you can find just over here, the top right corner of your screen. Now on the MT5 Global account, which is our account of course, if you're using some as a demo account, why? So over here you have a whole bunch of things, as you can see. So for those of you who are going to be mainly interested in the forex trading, whether you're a beginner, you're already a seasoned trader, you want to go with the MT5 because we actually provide one of the best commission structures when it comes to the ECN accounts. Here's what you're going to be looking for. You're going to go to the plus and you're going for the Forex ECN. You're not going to go without trade because, as you can imagine, it's just an indicative symbol. It was added more as a test, so that's not something you need. What you do need, on the other hand, is Forex ECN. Now, if you open this one, you're going to see a whole bunch of things, which, well, if you're going to scroll all of them to find what you need, whether it's euro dollar, euro pound, some perhaps minor currencies, which would be British pound versus Swiss franc, GBP, CHF, it's going to be quite tedious. So in order to simplify the process for yourself, you have this convenient text field over there. If you type in, for example, GBP, stands for British pound obviously, and for example CHF, you're going to be given right away the assets that you're mostly interested in. So if you just click on that one, look at that, it disappeared. And what does that mean? It means that if we go back to our quotes and we scroll all the way down, here we have it over here, JBP CHF. So all convenience, let's add a whole bunch of other stuff, not without trade, but this one over here. Now I would personally be more interested in Aussie, perhaps Euro Pound, and New Zealand, of course. This one, the British pound itself, of course, the Canadian dollar, you can go without it. You got the euro versus Norway krone, if you're okay with the spread, of course. Euro ruble, not that interesting. And a whole bunch of other stuff. We even have euro with Turkish lira, so it would have been quite a lot of luck for you to catch that kind of movement, which happened not so long ago, if you know what I mean. So now that we're done with Forex ECN, let's see what else can we add. Commodities, always useful. So we've got the crude oil light suite, which comes in two forms. You got forward and you got the other one. So what I prefer to add is just the usual gold and silver. Trade it in dollars, nothing fancy. You can also add it the same dollar and silver over here, which would be in Australian dollars, but I'm not that much of a fan of alternative currencies when it comes to commodities. You've got indices, which actually most of them you won't want to use that much, as being forward contracts they are traded effectively on the ECN network, but given the dwindling liquidity, they are not tradable as much as they used to be. So if you're interested in indices, you definitely want to go for the futures and look for the indices over here. So you got fancy stuff like US dollar index, you got the S&P 500 traded as a mini contract, you got the Nikkei, you got the mini Nasdaq 100, and everything else. So those of you interested in futures, of course, you want to look right over here. We get the futures of the Moscow Exchange, Globex Micro, and the usual stuff, multi-currency pairs, and much else. Feel free to explore around. Now, for those of you who are going to be interested in cryptocurrencies, yes, you do have this folder over here. You might be tempted to add it right away. Well, let me tell you right away, you wouldn't want to do that. Why not? Because the same currencies, the ones that are available, are actually available in this folder over here. If you scroll just a bit down from the crypto to crypto exchange, cryptocurrencies, here where they are. You've got the BTC, which is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, as well as a couple of other ones, not really tradable, but they are there still. And these ones are actually connected to our own, effectively, crypto storage system. So you can both trade them and you can withdraw them right away without any additional hassle. And if you're going to, of course, you want to explore for yourself, you're simply going to notice that these instruments in particular have got simply some lower spreads, which is, of course, when you're trading on them, it's something you really want to pay attention to. Then, once we've covered crypto, let's go to the stock markets, and you can see we've got a whole bunch of them. Canada, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Japan, Mexico, Poland, Russia, Singapore, Spain, Thailand, United Kingdom, London Stock Exchange, London Stock International, as well as Nasdaq, where you actually have the S&P 100, which is the 100 most traded, most volatile blue chips. You got all the other stuff, which is just as important effectively, but not the 100 most important, and we actually have some penny stocks. By the way, if at any point in time you ever need to add any additional asset instrument to the platform, particularly when it comes to some OTC stocks, etc., look, just send us an email, send us a message in chat, we'll see what we can do. For the most part, they can be added. We're working directly with our partners in New York. We simply have to do it with via our own channels, and usually just takes a couple of days. So something to keep in mind, something we can definitely do. Just give us a call or send us an email. We'll connect it to your account as well. We got the OTC market as well. Here we can see what we can add. We usually don't trade that much on penny stocks that are worth literally nothing, but for everything else, we can definitely see what can be done. Then we've got, of course, the CFDs. So for those of you who are not that interested in trading the actual stock market, who are just fine trading the CFDs, perhaps with leverage, that would be a bit more suitable for speculation, so to speak. If you're not interested in dividends, which the stocks, which if you are going to buy with us, are actually going to pay. So you might want to go with CFDs, get them for USA, Germany, crypto market, and Poland. Got the bonds as well. Definitely want to see all the condition and everything else. So in my case, let's add perhaps Apple to the platform, Adobe, because everyone needs to know how to use Photoshop these days, Amazon, Boeing, Boeing. Yeah, let's keep it simple. That's all we need for today. I'm not going to go with any bonds. The IPO folder now over here mostly is for, say, reference reasons. If you are interested in IPOs, if you actually want to invest with them, you need to do so via your own personal cabinet. The minimum starting amount for the IPOs is $1,000 because it doesn't really make sense to invest anything lower than that. And the IPOs that you're going to see over here are effectively for your own reference as well for reference of other people. Once you do invest in any kind of IPO, once they're allocated, they're going to be shown directly in your trading account. So you got the past IPOs as well, and the crypto exchange, the cryptocurrencies, which we are taught about, as well as tokens, which we are still working for. And that's all. If you want to trade some symbols, this is how you do it. So here you can see we've added our Euro, USD already, British Pound versus Swiss Franc, Australian Dollar, Euro GBP, New Zealand, as well as British Pound with Japanese Yen, and the usual ones, Canadian Dollar. You've got the gold, you've got the silver, as well as the Apple, actual stock, Adobe, and Amazon. Now, the first time you log into your personal terminal, you're probably going to see a whole bunch of these IPOs, which, if you're like most people, you're not really that interested in them because you actually want to trade. So if you prefer just to get rid of them, hopefully as quickly as possible, it's something very easy to do. First of all, click on that pencil in the top right corner over here, and you want to click in the same place basically on that utility bin just over there. Now all the assets that you're going to select here, by the way, you can select all with this one, you can deselect all of them, no problem here. can be marked for deletion. So in my particular case, I'm not that interested in NPLs as of now as well. So I'm going to select all of them and click on that bin once again. And here we go. The only assets that we have left are effectively the things that we are interested in. Now, if over here you try to drag the things that you've added, you can actually do that just fine. So if you believe you'd prefer to focus on Apple a bit more, you can drag it to the top. If you'd prefer to focus on the dollar of New Zealand a bit less, you can drag it just a bit down. Now pay attention over here, because if you want to scroll, as you might have noticed, if I'm probably you don't see it, but let me just explain what happens. If you click at any part in the left of your screen, what you're going to do is you're going to select the assets that you're going to be dragging. Now, if you want to scroll, what you want to do is click in the right part of the screen, here where you can see the scroll bar. As near as you click towards it, the better it's going to be. So if you want to scroll down, go to the right part of the screen, and if you want to drag some stuff, you can do it by clicking anywhere else. So now that we've rearranged, hopefully to our liking, some assets that we have over here, yeah, let's just put it over there, and yeah, I think I'm done for today. Let's just put New Zealand dollar over there, and if we click on that arrow back, here we have it, all the assets starting from Apple, Adobe, Amazon stock, to all the currency pairs we just added, as well as the usual gold and silver. Now, of course, if you click on any point over here, you're going to see a whole bunch of other stuff. So here you can actually go and set some new order. You can see the actual chart of your Apple stock. In this particular case, if you come back to the quotes, you click on that once again, you can go to properties. This is essentially the same thing as a specification, which you might be a bit more familiar with if you've been using the MetaTrader 5 on your desktop, on your PC. It's the same thing. What is called properties over here is specification. In the usual Windows or web terminal, you get some market statistics, if you know how to read them, and simple view mode, as it's called. This one effectively just shows you a bit less data. Once again, we went through that when we were configuring the actual terminal application. You can see a bit less data, you can see a bit more data, see what works for you, see what you like better visually as well. And this is effectively it. We've added some quotes. The next time we're going to see how you can work with the charts. We'll start effectively by seeing what you can do in the vertical mode, and then we'll pass to the horizontal one and see what is different and what's essentially the same. So for all of that and more, I'll see you next time.